Are we live? Hello, hi everybody. Happy Thursday, happy Holy Thursday. So good to be with you and to be with my spiritual family. We have here Pam, Lisa, and Paul here at the Tamarack Ashram. When I used to do services out of my house, and I had a much bigger house, and I used to call it the Urban Ashram, and we had services there once a month, and it wasn't live stream back in those days, so you just missed it. But now you're here with us. We're all together. We're happy to be here. And we start, as we always do, by asking you to please send me some love. Hit some of those hearts so I know you're out there. Hit those hearts. Lisa is monitoring on the iPad, but she's not seeing anything. You want to take a look at that? See what we can do? So all is well. Everybody take a nice deep breath. Put your hand on your heart. And let's remember the intention of being here tonight is to be connected, heart to heart, soul to soul, mind to mind. All minds are joined. And we begin, as we do every week, by offering our hearts, our minds, our judgments, our fears. We set an intention to let it all go so that we can be completely present to one another and to the voice of Spirit. And our song of dedication is called, Here's My Heart, Lord. We offer our heart. So we begin with this song. We all sing together. Pray our praise, sing our song of dedication. And I'll do my best to make it so that you can actually see the words tonight. We'll see how that works out. Here's my heart, Lord.
Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord.
This isn't working. I'll just leave it there.
Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Speak what is true. I am found, I am
your heart. Take a deep breath. Giving thanks for this evening, for this opportunity to be together. Blessing the space between us. Sending out our prayers into the world, prayers of healing. Here's a blessing. Feeling deeply our connection to one another and to spirit. And if you're feeling joyful, if you're feeling in awe of spirit, if you're feeling thankful and ready to release your judgments, your fears, get ready to sing your praises. You can join us and sing real loud so I can hear you all the way here in Tamarack. You ready? Here's my heart, Lord. Everybody. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Speak what is true. Here's my life. Here's my life, Lord. Here's my life, Lord. Here's my life, Lord. Speak what is true. Let's take a few moments to be in the silence of our own prayers. Prayers for healing, prayers for balance, prayers for our loved ones, our community, our world. Coming into this space and time as a dedicated, visionary instrument of love, instrument of peace, dedicated to a vision of a world that can be at peace, regardless of the outward circumstances of the moment. We join in prayer for the peace and love that can make a new world, for the peace and love that is making a new world. Amen to that. Amen. Amen. Blessed be. So, tonight we're going to be looking at a couple of lessons, and we're kind of going to go backwards because we're going to look at 158, 159, and 162, but we're going to start at 162, and then we're going to head back. I know it's been a really difficult first half of the year. We're in June now, and so many unforeseen circumstances and challenges that have come to us. One of the things that did not seem to make news was that either, I think around May 29th, May 30th, there was a rocket ship that was launched out of Cape Kennedy. And a friend of mine posted on Facebook the picture of the rocket going up, and she wrote on there, "Leaving Earth, good choice." And I thought, yeah, I mean, it's not as if we were not aware. Those of us who are on the path, on a sacred path, we've always been aware that this Maya, right, this illusionary dream world that we've created is somewhat insane, right? Like one of the teachers of Course in Miracles said that Earth is the psychiatric unit of the universe. There's so much insanity, so much divisiveness, so much hurting of one another since the very beginning of time. And so we're here. We're here as hopefully not a minority anymore, a group of people who are shifting consciousness, raising consciousness, whether you call yourself a light worker or a mystic or a student of any particular course or study, faith study, that helps you to see beyond the temporary circumstances so that we know what we have to do to make the world a better place. And there's people out there that are taking quite significant action, and we know what we have to do. We know what we have to do to make shifts. And so that's what we're here to do. And so when we study A Course in Miracles, we're dedicated to that shift. We're dedicated to doing what it is that we have to do. Even if it's just one 24-hour period that we can dedicate ourselves to and be very aware, in a state of awareness of what we're saying, what we're doing, what we're thinking, how we're interacting with people. You know, starting the day with that prayer of, where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? And to whom? And allowing ourselves to be in that mindset of receiving guidance throughout the day. And then allowing ourselves to provide maximal of expressions of love simply by acts of compassion and kindness. And so when I was thinking about, you know, leaving the earth is a good choice, it's also a good choice to be in the earth, but not of the world. Right? As a Thich Nhat Hanh who said, you know, all these other things might not be miraculous, just walking in peace is the miracle, right? And we're not looking for big, giant miracles. We're looking for changes that occur in incremental steps so that ultimately there's a shift. And that's what we're a part of. We're a part of that shift. And so we want to look at the lesson that reminds us that that's what we were created for. That's why we are here, to be as God created us. God created us as instruments of peace, as perfect channels of love. And we forget that sometimes. We forget that probably all the time. And so we're going to look at this lesson, lesson 162. And lesson 162 is so important that this is actually the third time that it's repeated in the course of the year. Lesson 94 was, I am as God created me. Lesson 110 was, I am as God created me. And now lesson 162 is, I am as God created me. So the author of the course was very, very specific in giving us a message that is to change our mindset about ourselves so that we can rise to the occasion of being as we were created. To not be so bogged down by our fears and our judgments and as we've seen in this world lately, our discriminatory prejudices and all those things that are occurring that we've always known about, but sometimes it's just so in your face that you're almost thankful to have this opportunity to be able to use your voice and to use your way of being to show that there is another way. So I am as God created me. We're going to read a little bit of it and then we're going to talk about it. It says, this single thought, I am as God created me, this single thought held firmly in mind would save the world. What? That is such a big statement. Well, why? Because if each one of us, if every one of us truly believed that we were as God created us, then we wouldn't have to be adversarial. We wouldn't have to be in argument. We wouldn't have to be filled with fear and judgment. We would just see ourselves for who we are. And in seeing ourselves for who we are, we would see each other for who you are, for who you truly are. So it says, from time to time, we will repeat this as we reach another stage in learning. So we are incrementally moving up in our learning because in the beginning, in the first part of the book, we were really looking at deconstructing an old way of thinking. And now it's moving us into a way of being, a way of living our lives. So let's zip down to paragraph 3. Holy indeed is he who makes these words his own, arising with them in his mind, recalling them throughout the day, and at night bringing them with him as he goes to sleep. His dreams are happy and his rest secure, his safety certain and his body healed, because he sleeps and awakens with the truth before him always. He will save the world because he gives the world what he receives each time he practices words of truth. So the idea is that as you go through your day, if you are aware of what your lesson was in the morning, that you just keep repeating it. There was a lesson a few days ago that said, repeat it 1,000 times. And of course, Robert Perry, who does all these analysis of the Course, he said that it was like twice a minute in order to get it 1,000 times. Imagine training your mind so extensively, with such discipline, that by the end of the day, you feel at peace because you believe it, because a shift has occurred in you to where you stop doubting yourself. And that's why we do, our spiritual cleansing ceremonies, to try and remove that doubt. Because as we remove the doubt, we move into a place of knowing, which replaces the doubt, a place of knowing that we have a choice at any given time, under any circumstance, to change our mind, shift our thinking, and remove ourselves from anything that could be hurtful to ourselves or to anyone else. And paragraph 5, it says, "We honor you today. Yours is the right to perfect holiness. With this acceptance is salvation brought to everyone. And who would cherish sin when holiness like this has blessed the world?" And remember, Course in Miracles says that sin is simply a mistake in need of correction. So why would we cherish mistakes when holiness like this has blessed the world? Paragraph 6. "And who would not be a brother to you now?" So if we really have this mindset of being as God created us and seeing everyone else as God created us, then we would see everyone as a brother or sister, a redeemer. "Who could fail to welcome you into his heart with loving invitation, eager to unite with one like him in holiness? You are as God created you. These words dispel the night, and darkness is no more. For the light has come today to bless the world, and you have recognized the Son of God, which is all of us, and in that recognition is the world, is the entire world, is everyone and everything." So when we look at what's going on, I'm going to agree with you that it's hard to see that sometimes. It's hard to look beyond the surface of the circumstances of people hurting each other. And especially when we watch someone be murdered in front of our eyes, right? And then you think, how am I supposed to see this differently? How am I supposed to see a brother? How am I supposed to be a child of light? And the judgments that we lay upon that are exactly what would be expected of us, because we're human. And yet, the Course is asking us to try and see it differently. And how do we see it differently? By recognizing that there is a child of God who has lost his way. He's made a mistake, a series of mistakes. He might live his life mistakenly. And ultimately, it's up for his spirit to be corrected, and his way of being to be corrected. And we do what we can in social justice, but we're somewhat limited, other than we can vote, we can raise our voices, we can peacefully protest. There's things that we can do. But ultimately, we have to remember that we are as God created us. And God created us to be a part of the solution and not to add to the problem. Adding to the problem is wallowing in our anger and being so upset that we can't function. And then it becomes all about us. And guess what? It's not all about us. It's all about a higher way of being. It's all about the brotherhood, the sisterhood.
I felt this week that each day's lesson was actually directed towards each day. I don't know if anybody else felt that way or whatever, but it wasn't like this was written back in the 70s or something, or channeled back in the 70s. It was like reading a daily meditation when someone puts out a daily reflection or something. Each one of these spoke to me right where I was each day in what was going on in my community, in my heart, in the world, all of that. It was just amazing to me. I was like, God, how did you know that this was going to happen?
How did you know? How did God know? Isn't that amazing? And that's one of the things that I love about spiritual practice, is that while we're in spiritual practice, we start noticing these spiritual synchronicities, and that the messages are very divinely inspired. You can read the Course in Miracles like me, like for 30 years, and still find something so fascinating like that. Because when it was written, it didn't specifically say, well, you know, in June of 2020, this is going to speak to you because of the circumstances of what is going. But it is exactly what happens. And when I think of that line that says everything has been specifically planned, I don't know if that's exact words, where it says everything has been planned for you, and then you think, well, don't I have free will? And then when I see something like this happen, I think, oh, now I get it. That there's been a bigger picture that was seen beyond our eyes. There's been a big picture that knew what was going to happen. And it knew that there were people like us who needed to be a part of the peaceful movement, of a way of doing things to make the world better. Do you want to check and see if there's any questions coming up? No questions? Okay. How about hearts? People send us hearts? We getting love?
No.
Send some love, send some love. Hit those hearts, hit those hearts.
There's some people showed up, but now they're not there anymore.
That's okay.
They're here, but I can't see.
So
I said hi.
it reminds me, and I think this is a really important lesson to refer back to just real quickly when Lisa was, Hearts Are Coming, great, thank you. When Lisa was talking about, you know, finding these lessons that come up, sometimes there's other lessons that you remember and it's like, wow, that lesson is exactly what I need today. And there's one, I don't know if Libby's on the line, but this one's for Libby. 93, Libby, my grasshopper, light and joy and peace abide in me. Now, there's a line in this lesson that is very correlated to any of the lessons that say, I am as God created me. And it says, salvation requires the acceptance of but one thought. You are as God created you, not what you made of yourself. Not what you made of yourself. So let's expand on that one. Not what you made of yourself, not what anyone made of you, and not what you made of anyone else. You are as God created you and not what you made of yourself. And I'm going to tell you why that is so important. When we see the type of outbreaks that we've been seeing in the prejudice, the riots, the attempt at peaceful protesting, and agitators that come in, is people not seeing what God created. They are projecting what they made of God's creation. And I wanted to share something with you that just really brings this home, I think, quite poignantly and powerfully. I just hope that I remember. I think I wrote the name down. Can you see that? Can everybody see this? This is a picture that was in on a lot of the media. It's a young woman during a peaceful protest who's being yelled at by a very big white guy. I mean, he's just towering over her. And the reason she made such a hit on media, she was even on the news, is because if you look at her, get a good look at her, she's not glaring at him, she's just looking at him.
Yeah.
She lifted her glasses, she had sunglasses on, she lifted her sunglasses, and she just looked at him. And if you see the whole video, he walked away from her pretty quickly and went on to other people, and he was yelling and yelling and yelling, and a crowd of people circled him, and they just started chanting, peaceful, peaceful. They're trying to get the point, of course, this is a peaceful protest, and they just kept chanting, peaceful, peaceful. And he just kept going from one person to the next, shouting and cursing. I was going to share the whole video, but it is so profane, is that the right word? He was so profanity laden that I thought it might be a little offensive. It was just like really much. So I had to look her up, and her name is Samantha Francine. And one of the I don't want to keep going off center. There we are. One of the news people asked her, you know, how did you remain so calm and just, you know, you just lifted your sunglasses and just looked at him. And she said, my father always told me, let them look in your eyes so they can remember that you're human.
Wow.
And that's all she did. And he looked away from her. He walked away from her. Out of all the people I saw him screaming at, I think she was the one that he stayed with the least. But her interaction with him was probably the most powerful. And he was arrested. He was arrested for disturbing the peace. So what I wanted to do is early on have our meditation, because I want you, all of us here, to take some time to think in terms of who are you as God created you, and not what you created of yourself. Think about how you view yourself truly, and how you create obstacles to your own higher vision, your own Christ vision of yourself. And as long as you have obstacles to the Christ vision of yourself, you'll have obstacles to Christ's vision of others. So we're going to take a few moments to just be with that thought. I'm going to share a song for you that Tanzua on the line, that Tanzua shared with me earlier this week. And let this song just sort of carry you through your meditation. Let it be your meditation. It's called The Truth I'm Standing On. And I'm sorry if you can't see it. I'm still working on the monitor situation. Okay, take a deep breath.
Oh, I thought I knew, scared,
Hand on your heart.
but I'm so filled with fear.
You are as God created you,
I can barely
not what you created of yourself.
doubt. I've had my share of doubt, but never more than right now. I'm wondering, where are you? Here on the edge of all apart. Somehow your promises find my troubled heart. This is the truth I'm standing on. Even when all my strength is gone, you are faithful forever, and I know you'll never let me fall. Right now I'm choosing to believe. Someday soon I'll look back and see all the pain had a purpose. Your plan was perfect all along. This is the truth I'm standing on. Good, I believe you're still good. Even when life's not good, I will not lose this hope that the God who parts the sea promises He's gonna make a way for me. Oh, this is the truth I'm standing on. Even when all my strength is gone, you are faithful forever, and I know you'll never let me fall. Right now I'm choosing to believe. Someday soon I will look back and see all the pain had a purpose. Your plan was perfect all along. This is the truth I'm standing on. My shield, my firm foundation. I know I will not be shaken. You remind me when my help comes fail. This is the truth I'm standing on. Even when all my strength is gone, you are faithful forever, and I know you'll never let me choosing to believe. Someday soon I'll look back and see all the pain had a purpose. 'Cause your plan was perfect all along. This is the truth I'm standing on.
What is the best kept
Whoa.
secret to becoming a great singer? I'm going to answer
I don't
my
know.
question in
Anybody?
30 seconds.
Does
Let's start
anybody
that
know the
clock.
answer?
Hi, my name is Aaron. I'm a stop.
How do I stop him? All right, we had a little interruption, so I'll show you Ernesto to make things better. Anyway, any comments on or thoughts? Anybody on that? I think that that song was really speaking to finding our firm foundation in our faith and in our trust, the process of whatever it is we're going through. When we remember that we're as God created us, then it makes it a little bit easier to take that next step. Lisa, you had a comment or a question?
I was just checking to make sure it wasn't something.
Okay. All right, so for those of you who are on my text list, you'll get the song tomorrow on the text. So let's look some more. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Lessons 158 and 159, I believe, are very closely related one to another, so we're going to take a look at them together. One feeds upon the other. Ernesto's going to be my book rest. Oh.
Is great, this whole set.
So Lisa is showing us her what is it? It's commentary by Ken
Ken
Wapnick. And I believe that was,
You have the Robert Perry.
I have the Robert Perry interpretations. You have a whole series of Ken Wapnick. For those of you who are looking into further exploration. Look, I have no idea who this guy is. He just, apparently he's a voice coach. Okay, let's look at 152. So these lessons were earlier in the week.
152.
I'm sorry, I didn't say it. 158. Today I learned to give as I receive, and we're gonna go all the way over to paragraph 7. What did you want to say,
I
Lisa?
did a lot of highlighting.
Oh, you did? Did you want to share what spoke to you in this lesson?
Well, in paragraph 1, just the fact that he says Jesus again refers to the principle of, this is commentary from...
Commentary by Ken
Yes.
Wapnick.
Yeah, and what has been given you is what the paragraph started with. But he says, Jesus again refers to the principle, ideas leave not their source.
And I said to Paul, that's like, you can't be separated from God.
Right.
Ideas leave not their source. And that's so powerful. Doesn't sound like it is when you just kind of read it, but when you read it.
Well, the Course is continuously reminding us that all minds are joined.
Yeah.
And all minds are joined with Source. And so when we were talking last week about how we have to dig deep to find the truth of our thoughts, it's because so much of our thinking is powered by the ego. And so our true thoughts are the thoughts that are joined with God and joined with others, the thoughts that have not left their source.
Yeah. And so our true self, everybody's true self, cannot be separated from source, from God, from whatever.
And that's just those few little words were pretty powerful.
Right. Right. That's a great resource you got there. So, okay, we're going to go to paragraph 7. It says, Christ's vision has one law. It does not look upon a body and mistake it for the Son whom God created. What does that mean? That means that we're not looking at just the form. We're looking beyond that to the truth of who we actually are. And so if we think about the young lady in the video, she was being looked at by that guy as something other than who God created her to be. Because he decided who she was based on who he thought she was. And that's why this idea of Christ's vision is all about seeing the truth of who everyone is. And if we had a world without divisiveness, prejudice, discrimination, hate, what would we see? We would see each other. We would see each other clearly and truly, lovingly. So don't forget, this is today I learned to give as I receive. It says, our vision beholds a light beyond the body, an idea beyond what can be touched, a purity undimmed by errors, and fearful thoughts of guilt from dreams of sin. It sees no separation, and it looks on everyone, on every circumstance, all happenings, and all events without the slightest fading of the light. Then we're going to go to 9. We're going to skip down to 9. Thus are sins forgiven him. Remember, mistakes. Thus are mistakes forgiven. For Christ's vision that has the power to overlook them all. in forgiveness, they are gone. Now we're going to go down to 10. A little bit past almost to the last line. Each brother whom you meet today provides another chance to let Christ's vision shine on you and offer you the peace of God. Now, that doesn't mean, right, and it's not everybody who's pleasant. It's not because they're pleasant and nice to you. It's just it's because they're who they are, even when they're not pleasant. They're still giving you the opportunity to let Christ's vision shine upon you and offer you the peace of God. And that's why when you are functioning from the remembering of who you are to be as God created you, then you can see that, you can receive that, and you can give that. And you can see that this is an opportunity to be a blessing and to receive a blessing. So there are lots of folks who can be aggravating and agitating, right? Especially out on the road, right? Now that everybody's back on the road.
Better, I don't know.
That's because there's not.
I think I am, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure. I know you are. I have no doubt that.
Every time we get in the car, I don't go because not because of the car.
I've taken a new job, and I've worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday the last 2 weeks in a row, and this will be my third Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it's in a boating goods store,
Candy store.
and so people come in and they come in and come in, and it's really an opportunity for me to greet a brother human being
Nice, yeah.
that comes into the store looking for something, whether he needs my help or not, And it's kind of been a joyful experience almost.
And you're noticing that you're seeing people differently.
Very differently,
Wow.
for some reason. There's even been a few, grouches that come in and are complaining about the price of something, but, I haven't responded negatively to that, and I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's the thing, that you can be happy about that and know that you have found a place of peace that maybe in the past you would have been easily triggered.
There in the past.
Yeah, that's.
He was on the other side. He was being crafty.
But isn't it great to be able to know, to see that progress within
Yeah, it
yourself
really
and to
is.
see the shift within
It's,
yourself?
I didn't even know it was there till I got this job and started dealing with the public like this.
Yeah.
Because, in the past I was the negative one, responding to the negativity.
Yeah.
Now it's different. Pretty interesting.
It's exciting because it's not the kind of thing where you're pounding your chest like, oh, look at me. It's more like just like this recognition, like, oh, I can love other people and I can be at peace with that. And it's gentle. It's a gentle shift, and then you suddenly realize that something has changed. Something has changed in you. A lot of people are talking about masking. Do we mask? Do we not put masks on? And I was listening to this guy. It was a medical doctor who was doing an interview with someone, and it was sort of an anti-mask conversation. And he was saying that he felt like, the doctor was saying he felt like this social distancing was further causing us to feel isolated, because when we finally do go out, we go out in masks, and that it's creating more of a sense of separation. And I thought about that, and I thought, I don't feel that way. What I've noticed, actually, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but I feel like people are looking each other in the eye more.
I was just gonna say, I think it takes away a lot of the layers of judgment that we can have just by looking at someone's face. Oh, she wears too much makeup, or I wonder why he didn't get that removed, or I mean, I'm not. But who knows what comes to your head?
It just seems to me when you're in a store, like back in the day when it was like real crowded, and you're just sort of like moving past people, kind of like get out of my way kind of thing. But now we're like looking at each other and we're saying excuse me if we're getting too close, and you might even smile even though they don't know you're smiling. But I find that, I know a lot of people, I know a lot of you out there, we've had conversations, you don't like the mask, but I don't agree with the fact that it's creating more distance between us, because I think that people are actually taking a moment to look at each other.
I say hello, because I always smile at people, always look at, passing anybody, I smile. And now if I smile, there's a smile there.
They might feel it.
Hello,
They might feel
good
it.
morning,
Yeah.
And so,
But it gives us a chance to show respect too.
Yes,
It's
to be
really-
respectful.
I sense that, I feel that. I don't get I guess I get somewhat upset when someone doesn't not show me the same back by not wearing a mask. That's their choice. But yeah, it makes me feel like it's one more chance of reaching out to someone in respect that I wouldn't know how to do otherwise, because they're a stranger.
Yeah, Reverend Grace Telesco and I had a discussion about this just recently because she's trying to go into her phase 1 reopening of her congregational gathering. And she had a little conflict because some of the clergy who had come in to do the service weren't wearing masks and they're going around hugging everybody. So she had a little talk with them and she said, maybe you think you're immune and, you know, God's going to protect you from coronavirus. But people are still fearful. And part of our sacred service and our respect is to also respect other people's fears and concerns. And so by wearing the mask, we're letting other people know also that, you know, I get it, that this has to be done right now. It's a temporary situation. Don't be such a baby. Don't be such babies. Let's just be kind. Let's just be kind to one another. Okay, so 159 moves into, I'm sorry, it was really supposed to be 158, but it's, okay, so then 159 follows 158 by saying, I give the miracles I have received. See, I'm so glad you guys are here to help me when I go, like, when my ADD kicks in. And in paragraph 2, toward the end, it says, there is no miracle you cannot give, for all is given you. Receive them now by opening the storehouse of your mind where they are laid by giving them away. So again, we're going to the idea that all minds are joined. Thoughts don't leave their source, as Lisa was saying. And that if we recognize that there's this storehouse, you know, we talk about our capability, what we do versus what we are capable of doing. We have this capability of reaching into like this reservoir of what is really within us to be the miracle worker. What is a miracle? It's not, you know, we're not changing water to wine, but we may be providing an act of kindness. We're doing something that may be very beneficial to someone else just by simply being with them. There are times when, you just don't know. You don't know, how your act of kindness might really be something that is so healing to another person. I had a gentleman tell me today, simply because I told him I was a chaplain. Like when I first went into his room, I was like, hi, introduced myself, and I had gone in because they said he was having some depression. So I went in to talk to him about how he was feeling, what was going on, and I was going to make some phone calls for him and stuff. And he said, well, what do you do here? And I said, I'm the chaplain. My actual job title is care ambassador, but nobody knows what that means, right? Unless I stop to explain it. And so I said, I'm the chaplain. He said, oh, you just don't know how important it is for me. The chaplain walked in right now. Now, if I had said I'm the care ambassador and then started explaining what the care ambassador, I'm the point person for person-centered care, he probably would have been like, yeah, so can you pass me my coffee? Because he couldn't use his hands too good. But he was so taken by the fact that there was a chaplain in the room with him. Like you never know. Like I just walked in because I was asked to go in. But was I asked by the nurse, or was that one of those miracles, right? We're in the flow because we've asked to be in the flow. We ask when we get up in the morning, tell me where to go, tell me what to do, what to say, and to whom. And through the power of that faith that we can be of service, I'm led to this man's room and to tell him that I'm the chaplain instead of giving him my actual job title. So you just don't know. I was there for a really long time. He had, and half an hour into his stories when he said, to make a long story short, I was thinking, no, it's too late for that. It's a little too late for that. But being in the right place at the right time, to be of service. So that's the miracle, right? That was the miracle for him.
Yeah, for you.
Truly. Paragraph 4, Christ's vision is a miracle in which all miracles are born. The vision to shifting the way we see each other, the way we see the world. It is their source remaining with each miracle you give, and it remains yours. You don't lose anything by giving love. You don't lose anything by giving of goodness. I love, I don't know if it's in one of Don Miguel Luis' book, and I don't know if it's the 4 agreements, or if it's the next one, the mastery of love. But he has this meditation in there where he talks about taking this flame from your heart and giving it to another person so they can put the flame in their heart, and then they give it to another person, and then you just keep giving of and you never lose anything. It doesn't extinguish within you, just like, when we have candles, it doesn't extinguish because you've given it. And I love that visual, just taking the flame and giving it to the next person, and then they take the flame and give it to the next person. And just building this bonfire of love, this bonfire of compassion and kindness. I love having you here. I just love that my people are here. And and in July we will all be together, because I know my people are out there too. And I miss you. I miss us all being together. In July we will all be together indoors, not outdoors with the heat and the bugs and possibly the rain, but indoors together. Okay, Mark, first Thursday in July, we're all going to be together. But we're going to continue to be here at the Tamarack Ashram for the next few Thursdays. So whoever wants to come, I can bring. With social distancing, what do you think? Six people?
Sure.
Yeah, about 6. So we got three more. Okay, so where was I? Oh, okay. Christ vision. Okay, this comes up many times. All right, so the first line in paragraph 3 says, Christ's vision is a miracle. First line in paragraph 4, Christ's vision is the miracle on which all miracles are born. 5, Christ's vision is the bridge between the worlds.
That's neat.
It's like, this is like a rhythm. I feel like we could just, make a chant out of this, right? I'll say it again. This is the first line from each paragraph, 3, 4, 5. Christ's vision is a miracle. Christ's vision is the miracle in which all miracles are born. Christ's vision is the bridge between the worlds. What world? The world of the spirit and the world of the ego. We can live in the world of spirit by following the voice of spirit while we're in these bodies and in this world and on this earth. Walking and talking like just folk, right? Whatever your accent is, wherever you come from, whatever language you speak, you are still walking in the body that has been given to you through the breath of spirit, so that you can bring a vision of peace into this world, so that you can be a miracle worker through maximal expressions of love. And then finally it says on paragraph 8, Christ's vision is the holy ground in which the lilies of forgiveness set their roots. This is their home. They can be brought from here back to the world, but they can never grow in unnourished, shallow soil. They need the light and the warmth and the kindly care Christ's charity provides. They need the love with which he looks on them, and they become his messengers who give as they receive. That's us. We are the messengers. We are the champions. We are the champions. Can you believe it's already 10 to 8? Like, how did that happen? Yeah. What were you reading, Lisa? Did you want to share it with us?
It says, his lilies do not leave their home when they are carried back into the world. Their roots remain.
Do not leave their source.
Carry its beneficence with them, and turn the world into a garden like the one they came from, into which they go again with added fragrance.
I love that. That's like that saying that says, forgiveness is the fragrance that a flower leaves on the heel that crushes it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. I love that. I love that too. So, how about a quick check to see if we have any questions? No questions? All right. All right, everybody. Send a few more hearts of love because we're about to wrap it up. So that was lessons 158, 159, and 162. That's what we reviewed today.
It's funny because 161
I just jumped over 161, which says, I am at home, fear is the stranger here. Did you want to say something about that?
It was just an intense chapter for me, because the commentary is 14 pages.
Yeah, well, actually, the commentary is very, very intense there. That would be like a whole evening of commentary. She's referring to a lesson that we did not talk about today. But I just want to quickly review the commentary from Robert Perry regarding giving as we receive. It says, practice seeing your brothers with Christ's vision. See past their bodies, their mistakes, and their fearful thoughts to the pure, untainted holiness of their true identity. Quiet your mind and sink down and inward to the deep sanctuary within you, keeping your focus and drawing your mind back from wandering by repeating the idea over and over and over again. That's what this course is always telling us. Just keep repeating the idea until we're saturated. We're saturated with loving thoughts, loving, compassionate thoughts that move us into a quick response of forgiveness and kindness. It says, dip deep into a well within you and gain awareness that we are not our bodies, and this is the awareness that we are to give our brothers. Spend time trying to see a particular brother through the eyes of Christ. And when we say a particular brother, we usually mean somebody you're not very happy with. Remember to see each brother you meet with Christ's vision. See him as a son of God, at one with you, not a separate mind housed in a separate body. To motivate yourself, remember that whatever you see in him, you will see in yourself and is in you. If you see him with Christ's vision, then that vision will shine on you. When we forgive one another, we have simultaneously forgiven ourselves, because in your brother you see, we're laughing because Ernesto's ready to play. We cannot know when the revelation of truth, experience of our reality will come to us. The time is set. The drama is being played out, right? Aren't we having some drama being played out right now? There is not one step we take by chance. And yet, each act of forgiveness brings a day of light nearer. Our concern then is not with the final experience, but with the practice of vision, seeing with the eyes of Christ. This is something we can attain. This is something we can do something about, and we can do it right now. We can do it right now. We see each other with loving eyes and see each other as beloved children of God who sees us as perfect. No one will be turned away from this new home where the light is being shined, the doors swing open before you, and you enter in and behold the treasure that stands before you. It is a holy instant. It is a holy instant when we actually do take that time to see each other as beloved brothers and sisters in light and love. And you know what? What if we just went and played every day, right? Like Ernesto, he just wants to play. He just wants attention. And what I'm going to say right now is that he represents all of us, right? We all want love. We all want attention. We all want to play. We just want to have joy in our lives. And so that's what I wish for all of you, to have a joyful evening, a joyful week. Come back next Thursday. Wait for the end song. We have an end song that we'll wrap up with. Oh. This is a little sign that I have with when we meet in person. It says, Miracles with a Twist, suggested donation $10. Donations are tax deductible. LMC Interfaith Ministries is a 501c3 public charity, and donations can also be made at the website, which to get to the website, you simply click on that contact button right where you are on Miracles with a Twist. It'll take you to the LMC Interfaith Ministries website. That website has a little donation button on it, and it's what allows us to keep the light on. You want to see the light in there. Lisa, thank you so much. Lisa and Paul, we're doing a little roundabout, passing the basket, showing a financial expression of appreciation. That's really all that is. The light in you, the light in me, we see each other, and I got to keep the lights on so I can keep coming to you, and so we can shine the light together. So the end. Thank you, Lisa. One of these days, Lisa's going to give you a little talking to. about making your donations. All right, I'm going to play this last song. This last song is I will fear no more. And I don't know what all that noise is that happened, so I apologize for that. But I'm going to tell you, there's a reason why I like this song so much. Because it starts with salsa music. Rusty! Rusty, I need you. All right, there's a line in this song. I'm playing this whole song for one line. There's a line in this song that says, even though I'm in the storm is not in me.
Every anxious thought
She turns.
steals my breath. It's a heavy weight upon my chest. As I lie awake and wonder what the future will hold. Help me to remember that you're in control. You're my courage when I worry in the dead of night. You're my strength 'cause I'm not strong enough to win this fight. You are greater than the battle raging in my mind. I will trust you, Lord. I will fear no more. I will lift my eyes. I will lift my gaze. Lay them in your hands. I'll leave them there. When the wind and waves are coming, you shelter me. Even though I'm in the storm is not in me. You're my courage when I worry in the dead of night. You're my strength 'cause I'm not strong enough to win this fight. You are greater than the battle raging in my mind. I will trust you, Lord. I will fear no more. I will fear no more. I will fear no more. No power can come against me, 'cause you have overcome. No darkness can overwhelm me, 'cause you've already won. No power can come against me, 'cause you have overcome. No darkness can overwhelm me, 'cause you've already won. You're my courage when I worry in the dead of night. You're my strength 'cause I'm not strong enough to win this fight. You are greater than the battle raging in my mind. I will trust you, Lord. I will fear no more. 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 I will fear no more.
All right, so let's end with these final words. Not those final words. These final words. There is a silence into which you cannot intrude. There is a silence into which the world cannot intrude. There is an ancient peace you carry in your heart and have not lost. There is a sense of holiness in you the thought of sin has never touched. All this you can remember. Faithfulness in practice will bring rewards so great and so completely different from all things you sought before that you will know that here is where your treasure is, and here you will find rest. Amen to that. Amen. Thank you all for being with us tonight. God bless you. We miss you. And we love you.